The story of Gideon, found in Judges chapters 6 to 8. After the Israelites settled in the Promised Land, they often forgot God's laws and began worshipping idols. As a result, God allowed them to be oppressed by their enemies. This cycle of sin, suffering, repentance, and deliverance repeated many times, and God raised up leaders called judges to rescue Israel. Gideon was one such judge. 1. Israel oppressed by the Midianites. For 7 years, the Midianites oppressed the Israelites. They would invade Israel during harvest, destroy crops, and steal livestock, leaving the people impoverished. Israel cried out to God for help. 2. God's call to Gideon, Judges 6. Gideon was from the tribe of Manasseh. He was threshing wheat in a winepress, a hidden place, to hide it from the Midianites, showing how fearful and oppressed the people were. Angel of the Lord appears. The angel greeted Gideon, saying, "The Lord is with you, mighty warrior." Gideon responded with doubt, "If the Lord is with us, why has all this happened?" God's mission. God told Gideon to rescue Israel from the Midianites. Gideon protested, saying he was from a weak clan and was the least in his family. God's assurance, "I will be with you, and you will strike down all the Midianites." 3. Signs from God. Gideon, unsure and afraid, asked for signs to confirm God's call. The offering sign. Gideon prepared food as an offering, and the angel touched it with a staff. Fire consumed it and the angel vanished. Gideon realized he had seen a divine being and feared for his life, but God reassured him. Tearing down the altar of Baal, God told Gideon to destroy his father's altar to Baal and the Asherah pole beside it. Gideon did it at night, fearing his family and townspeople. The next morning, the townspeople wanted to kill Gideon, but his father defended him. "If Baal is a god, let him defend himself." 4. Preparing for battle. Judges 7. Gideon gathered an army of 32,000 men, but God said it was too many. God didn't want Israel to boast that their own strength saved them. First reduction, all who were afraid could leave. 22,000 left, 10,000 remained. Second reduction, at a river, the men were tested on how they drank water. Only 300 men drank by cupping water in their hands and lapping it like dogs. God chose these 300 men. 5. The dream of the enemy soldier. Gideon, still fearful, was told to sneak into the Midianite camp. There, he overheard a Midianite soldier's dream. A loaf of barley bread tumbled into the camp and overturned the tent. The other soldier said, "This is nothing but the sword of Gideon. God has given the Midianites into his hands." This strengthened Gideon's faith. 6. The battle plan. Gideon armed the 300 men with trumpets, shofars, empty jars, torches inside the jars. At night, they surrounded the Midianite camp. At Gideon's signal, they blew the trumpets, broke the jars to reveal the torches, and shouted, "A sword for the Lord and for Gideon." God caused confusion among the Midianites. They turned on each other and fled. 7. The victory. Judges 8. Gideon pursued the fleeing Midianites with help from other Israelite tribes. 2 Midianite kings, Zebah and Zalmunna, were captured and executed. After the victory, Israel asked Gideon to rule over them, but he refused. "I will not rule over you, nor shall my son. The Lord will rule over you." However, Gideon asked for gold earrings from the spoils of war and made a golden ephod, a religious garment, which sadly became an idol that led Israel astray. 8. Gideon's later years. Gideon had many wives and 70 sons. Though he brought peace for 40 years, after his death, Israel quickly returned to idol worship. Lessons from Gideon's story. 1. God uses the weak. Gideon was hesitant and insecure, but God used him powerfully. "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. 2 Corinthians 12 verse 9. 2. Faith grows through experience. Gideon asked for signs, and God patiently guided him step by step. 3. Victory comes from God, not numbers or strength. The 300 men triumphed not because of power, but because of God's intervention. 4. Beware of pride and idolatry. Even after great victories, spiritual downfall can happen when we forget God.